Eschatology, Reflections on the End of Time, by Chamchoum. Before we begin, a brief note. This presentation was originally prepared several months ago, and I had planned to publish it after Easter. However, given the tensions and uncertainties currently unfolding in parts of the world, particularly in the Middle East, I felt it was appropriate to share it now. Throughout history, moments of unrest have often led people to reflect on the question of the end of times. This presentation does not claim that such events are happening today, but explores how different traditions and thinkers have approached these ideas across history. Dear viewers, this video is an excerpt from my book entitled Divine Journey. It offers a reflective exploration of eschatology, the study of the end of time, the destiny of humanity, and the fulfillment of meaning beyond the present age. Across cultures, religions, and historical periods, human beings have asked the same enduring questions. Does life have an ultimate purpose? And what, if anything, lies beyond the limits of time as we know it? Derived from the Greek eschatos, meaning last or final, eschatology engages these questions by examining how different traditions understand the culmination of history and the horizon of human existence. It is concerned not merely with the end of the world, but with the ultimate destiny of humanity, the resolution of moral struggle, and the hope of renewal beyond suffering and imperfection. Often misunderstood as a study of catastrophe or fear, eschatology is, at its core, a reflection on meaning, justice, and hope. This presentation approaches the subject as a shared human inquiry rather than a single doctrinal claim, tracing how eschatological thought has shaped religious belief, ethical reflection, and humanity's understanding of its place within a larger narrative of time and purpose. One of the most overlooked aspects of eschatology is its influence on moral behavior. Beliefs about the future shape how individuals and societies act today. Whether expressed through religious expectation, philosophical optimism, or secular visions of progress, eschatological thinking often carries an implicit call to responsibility. In religious contexts, this responsibility may appear as accountability before God, the pursuit of righteousness, or care for others in anticipation of a renewed order. In secular contexts, similar patterns emerge in ideas of historical progress, environmental stewardship, or the fear of irreversible collapse. Thus, eschatology is not solely about the distant future. It functions as a framework through which people understand purpose, urgency, and meaning in the present moment, shaping how individuals and communities choose to live now. In an age marked by global uncertainty, climate change, conflict, technological disruption, the language of endings has returned to public discourse. Even outside religious belief, narratives of collapse, renewal, or transformation increasingly shape political, environmental, and cultural conversations. Eschatology offers a framework through which these anxieties can be examined thoughtfully rather than fearfully. It invites reflection instead of panic, and meaning instead of despair. By studying how earlier societies understood the end, we gain insight into how human beings confront uncertainty and seek coherence in times of profound change. Far from being obsolete, eschatology continues to speak to contemporary concerns by reminding us that questions about the future are inseparable from questions about how we live in the present. In this way, eschatological reflection remains a vital part of humanity's ongoing search for meaning and responsibility. While the questions addressed by eschatology are universal, the ways in which they are understood vary significantly across religious traditions. Each belief system approaches the end of time, human destiny, and ultimate fulfillment through its own theological language, conception of time, and moral framework. Some traditions view history as cyclical, marked by recurring phases of creation and renewal, while others understand time as linear, moving toward a definitive moment of judgment or fulfillment. Certain beliefs emphasize cosmic transformation. Others focus on individual liberation, ethical accountability, or union with the divine. These differences reflect deeper theological assumptions about the nature of reality, the role of humanity, and the meaning of existence. What follows is a brief chronological exploration of how major religious traditions have understood eschatology. Each perspective offers a distinct response to the shared human concern with endings, purpose, and hope, revealing both diversity of thought and underlying common themes across cultures and eras. Hinduism. Hindu eschatology understands time as cyclical rather than linear. The universe moves through vast cosmic ages known as yugas, marked by creation, decline, destruction, and renewal. On an individual level, existence unfolds through samsara, the cycle of rebirth governed by karma. Liberation, moksha, represents release from this cycle and union with the ultimate reality, Brahman. There is no final end of time, but an ongoing cosmic rhythm oriented toward spiritual realization. Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism presents one of the earliest clearly articulated eschatological frameworks centered on moral dualism. History is understood as a struggle between truth and falsehood, good and evil, culminating in a final judgment and the renewal of creation, known as frashokareti. At this moment, all souls are judged, evil is overcome, and the world is restored to harmony. This vision affirms that moral order ultimately prevails. Judaism. Jewish eschatology focuses less on the destruction of the world and more on the fulfillment of divine justice within history. Central themes include the coming of the Messiah, the resurrection of the dead, and the establishment of an age of peace and righteousness, often referred to as the world to come. Emphasis is placed on ethical living and covenantal responsibility, with eschatology serving as a moral horizon rather than an apocalyptic endpoint. Buddhism. Buddhist perspectives on eschatology are primarily existential rather than cosmic. Buddhism teaches impermanence as a fundamental reality and does not emphasize a final judgment or creator deity. While cycles of rebirth exist, liberation, nirvana, is achieved through enlightenment and the cessation of suffering, ignorance, and desire. The focus is therefore on transformation of consciousness rather than the end of time itself. Christianity. Christian eschatology is grounded in the belief that history is moving toward divine fulfillment. It anticipates the return of Christ, the resurrection of the dead, final judgment, and the full establishment of the kingdom of God. While interpretations vary, the Christian vision holds that the end of time brings redemption, justice, and restoration, revealing God's ultimate purpose for creation. Islam. Islamic eschatology occupies a central place in faith and moral life. It affirms the resurrection of the dead, the day of judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah, and complete accountability before God. The Quran presents the end of time as the moment when truth is fully revealed and divine justice is perfectly enacted. Eschatology in Islam serves as both a warning and a source of hope, emphasizing God's mercy alongside His justice. Outside religious belief systems, modern science offers its own accounts of how the universe may reach an end. Astrophysics describes the finite lifespan of stars, including our Sun, which is expected to exhaust its nuclear fuel in about 4 billion years from now. As this process unfolds, the Sun will expand, rendering Earth uninhabitable before eventually collapsing into a remnant state. Similar scientific models describe the long-term fate of the universe in terms of entropy, expansion, and eventual decline. These explanations are grounded in observation and physical law, and they provide detailed accounts of how cosmic processes conclude. However, they do not address questions of meaning, purpose, or moral significance. Scientific narratives describe outcomes, not values. They explain the mechanics of endings, but remain silent on what such endings mean for human responsibility, hope, or the interpretation of existence itself. Thank you for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Check out my other videos by tapping on the elements shown on your screen, or go to my channel to explore more content.